live. Ladies and gentlemen, you once again welcome to the King Dems Podcast. And today I have with me a very, very special guest. He says he's an old man, but then I say he is a freshman. Make welcome with me, Vern White. How are you, Vern?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Love and respect from London, England. Wow.
Hey, hey! I think it's amazing. This is way across the pond. I couldn't be more honored. To be honest with you,
Uh,
I'm honored to be a part of this, and you and your followers. I thank you. Thank you.
wow. And of course, we thank you as well. I like to tell people that time is actually highly, highly valuable because the unit of measurement of life is time. So if somebody spends their time with you, they're spending their life with you. And of course, you're taking time out of your own life, to bless us, to reach us, to honor us as well, on this platform. So gratitude to you.
Thank you.
So, you are a man who is making waves, right, in the art and culture scene when it comes to martial arts. You, you say you just a guy that cuts cards, but then it's way beyond the cards because you do way much more than just the cards. Your work transcends, in value beyond the cards. And of course, if there's any time they say something is worth more than its weight in gold, I think we are referring to your cards. But then, can you share the story behind that passion for collecting and customizing trading cards?
It can. Oh, I got back up here. It can go all the way back to my childhood.
Wow.
All the way back to my childhood. 8, 9 years old. Walking down to the swimming pool. The movie Sandlot. Have you ever watched the baseball movie Sandlot?
Oh, wow. I think I'm the wrong person to
That's
ask
okay. That's okay.
because
That's okay.
in
But that
in my
was
last episode, I was telling how growing up, I wasn't really allowed to watch TV by my parents. They just made us read a lot of books. So I'm not I'm the
you're
wrong
not you're
person.
not you're not the like movie expert. But
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was
I'm not the
if
movie
it
guy.
was to relate my childhood, it would directly correlate with that movie.
Wow.
Walking down,
I think I'm gonna watch that movie then.
on hot pavement, bare feet to the swimming pool after playing baseball, a neighborhood of kids, and then we'd always have $1,
Hmm.
and it usually wasn't a piece of paper. It was all coins that you've been wearing down in your sock all day as you're playing ball and having fun, and. But then at the end of the day, you got to go to TC's Mini Mart, is what it was called. TC's Mini Mart, and with that $1, you could buy two 45-cent pack of cards and
Wow.
then one box of lemon heads. And then you went home and you opened it up and with your buddies, saw what cards you got, traded right then and there. And that's where the actual true passion started.
Mm.
Way back then. Way back.
It's starting from like a childhood hobby, and you are now able to commercialize it. But I'm quite curious, like, what was the first trading card you ever owned, and why does that hold like a sentimental value to you?
Oh, I meant to get that card out, and I mean, it's just sitting in the other room, but it's Ricky Henderson rookie card. So really, do you have like literally? It's like right around that corner. You want me to grab it so
Okay,
you can see
yeah,
it?
yeah, you
Yeah,
can
let me
go
do that.
grab it.
Yeah,
We've
he's
got
right
all the
here.
time in the world.
It's actually this very card. I have another one, but I think I need to show the one that I actually had. And I sent it into it. It was a new grading company, and the grading company was called Rare, and they have glass on both sides. It almost looks like a cell phone. It's got this rubber
Exactly.
coating. So I thought that was a really cool way to start. But this is the card, and I wanted a 7, and I got a 6.5. So, but yeah, that's the card right there.
Like the first one is always, of sentimental value.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, everything. This was everything. I saved up. There was pennies, there was dimes, there was nickels, and we walked. It was 3-mile round trip. We walked down to the hobby store because I knew they had this card. My parents didn't know I was doing this. And so I had a bunch of ones, a bunch of coins, and I'd saved up $20 for this card.
Wow.
And this is back in 1983, 84.
Wow. That's way before I was even born.
Yeah, you don't even know. I mean, yeah, like generations before you were born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 1983, and that was the life. You walked around, you're a kid,
Life was
got
organic.
kicked out of the house and don't come back till the street lights come on. And if you get in trouble, you get whooping when you get home. That's how it goes. That's how it went.
Well, like I'm a 90s kid, and I feel like I'm in a sweet spot wherein I got to experience a lot of technological evolution as I was growing up. But like, what did you feel like growing up in that period of time, when there was less technological advancement that we see today? And of course, life was, purely organic. People had, genuine, realistic, humanistic interactions.
Okay, that is a very awesome question because it's good on one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, it's just complete disaster
Mm-hmm.
being from that era. Because from that era, you remember going to the mall with your buddies. It was growing up and when my family wasn't rich, we weren't wealthy. We were barely blue collar middle class. So I mean, there's growing up, I'd go out to potato fields after the harvest and take boxes, and our family would pick up the potatoes that didn't make the truck. We'd pick those up, take them home. We'd be slicing them up, and that was every harvest. That's what we did. So I mean, it wasn't really just like there was no entitlement in my raising. In that era, there was none. Neighbors could smack you. If that parent didn't like you and you did something bad.
Yeah, exactly. The discipline.
Yeah, discipline was way different, but I don't mind that because I don't look back on that and I don't have any scars from it.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me stay safe in the end.
Yeah, and build character as well.
No technology though was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was a different earth without all this technology. It was about neighborhoods. It was about friends. It was about gatherings. It was about human connection.
Yeah, genuine human connection.
Yes, and that's what's lacking today. And when you lose that human connection, the next thing that disappears is kindness.
Very true.
You don't know how to balance kindness and anger and all these other emotions. And you're seeing that in a lot of kids these days with all these different emotions. They don't know how to handle them. They don't know where to channel them. They don't know where to take them because there is no place for them to go with them. On their joystick, getting mad at whoever they're playing against. Where back in the day, we had a problem. We, after school, went down to the park, like 40 people, and they circled you, and there's the two of you, and you had a problem.
Yeah, you ironed it out.
You just fought it out, and whoever won, whoever lost, and then everybody went home. And then by the next week, the two that had fought each other, well, they were best friends for life. They learned a life lesson in that simple little fisticuff as a child, and then they became best friends. That era, it was just, that's what was good about that time. I'm Generation X. No doubt.
Wow.
That's what I am. I'm what everybody seems to fear. I see on social media and everything. Watch out for Generation X. Well, we're raised different than any other generation with all the freedom, and blinded to the truths of the world. Everything I was taught in history, everything I was taught, and now even since they've changed math gone to like this core math thing, they even changed my math. Everything I was taught in school was wrong. And lies. Yay, America, we're number one. No, we're a hammer just running around the world conquering, That's what I've learned and that's what this is what the generations coming up, they see the prior to what I just said, as opposed to the latter, which I've learned,
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's more people over here now that truly do understand history and world history and what's happened and what's gone on. And, I had a great life growing up. It was awesome. But not everybody, hardly anybody got that. There's always a war somewhere and bad things going on somewhere. And it was usually us causing it. But that wasn't what our news was telling us. We're all about freedom. We're freeing people. Yeah, democracy. So then you get into technology world. Now everything's instantaneous. Right now happens.
Exactly.
And everybody has access to be able to show what's going on in the moment.
In real time. And that has done no good to the concept of delayed gratification. So for your generation, Generation X, that's the generation that precedes my own generation. I'm a Generation Y, the millennials.
Okay.
I'm 32, born in 92. So, and that's why I told you, like, I feel like I am in a sweet spot because I am between your own generation and the Gen Zs.
Yeah, and I don't have that new part. Like
Yes,
you just witnessed as we're setting
I feel like
this up.
the diplomats. I feel like the diplomats in the generational wars.
You're balancing it out.
I understand your generation to a very large extent, and of course, I understand the generation coming after me as well.
Because I could be your parent.
Yeah, exactly.
1974 was the year I was born, so I will be 51 here in a couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean,
in advance.
Yeah, you are. You're right in the middle of it. So you see both sides. I see both sides, but you really
not as good as me though.
Not like you. Not like you. I understand the other side, right? I can, I guess, empathize.
Empathize. Exactly the word in my head.
Empathize. I can empathize.
Yeah, that's
the exact word in my understand.
Head. Yeah.
I can't understand. Just like the technology just getting set up for this tonight. You saw.
Yes, exactly.
You saw the struggles I have with technology.
I saw it right through. I was like, okay, this is a step-by-step guide. And of course, you're able to get it.
Yeah, this is Generation X. Let's go. He don't know nothing about a computer. He out in the middle of Nebraska, middle of nowhere.
Nebraska.
But really, I live in one of the most important spots in the world. I live on the nuclear highway.
Wow.
Just 5 miles is a nuclear warhead from my house. And then on that highway, every 4, 5, 6 miles, one side of the road or the other, there's a nuclear warhead.
It's like.
Yeah, I live in a crazy spot of the world, even though it is like so quiet.
It's like a minefield.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Pretty much.
And that's another thing about that technology. Well, that technology is based back in the 60s. Hard drives that are like sheets of sheetrock, 4x8, 4x8 foot. Yeah, hard. There's floppy disk.
The floppy disks, the CPUs.
I know.
The CDs, the
what
cassettes.
Are they doing? What's the world doing?
The DVDs, the VCDs.
It's horrible. They probably got a Betamax.
At some point, we thought we were sleek with the flash drives
too. What were you saying? Sorry.
I said at some point we thought we were sleek with the flash drives.
Yeah.
Until cloud storage came.
Yeah. Hey, how is the world where you're at?
Okay. For me, I'm an immigrant. I live in London, England, right now, but I moved from Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria, and in Africa, I could relate. I think the way I grew up was quite close to the way you grew up because it was quite organic, and a lot of technological advancements, would I say, had a delayed, would I say, implementation, yes, delayed implementation in most parts of Africa, and the culture as well is very big on discipline, morals. I would say
Yes.
the core values of the African culture while I was growing up were kindness, respect, and hospitality. Very, very important, and
Simple.
those things were ingrained in us and helped us build our character. So
Every
I
one of
think.
those things are a particle that builds kindness.
Mhm.
In everything I get, every talk and every opportunity I get to talk, I will always talk about kindness.
Very, very important. For me, that's my number one, what I say, core value. Yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to life, kindness is the most important core value. You
Positive
can you,
energy. Positive energy. Got to emit that positive energy.
you cannot overemphasize it. And for you, I will call you an artist, right? I will call you an artist. I love art, and art is a very big part of culture, any culture in the world. And I think that's why, it comes as art and culture in terms of a nomenclature. And I see how a couple of people have appreciated your artistry. I see Dana White, for example. Anyways, maybe Vern White and Dana White. I don't know if you guys are related.
Oh, you know, hey, what do you say? If he grew out his beard,
Oh,
yeah, what's up? I mean, brother from another mother, possibly. Who knows?
I see you guys are related. Dana White
Yeah.
is always so hyped up about your cards.
Is he?
I've never seen the level. There are a few times I see that level of excitement, in his eyes when he talks about your cards or when he's making a fight announcement. What's up,
Really?
everybody? What's up, everybody? With that, his sound of excitement. I've got news for you today. Fighting in
Yeah.
the main event is Vern White versus Ademola. If you don't know, now you know.
Because Stone Cold said so.
And then he gets the cards and like, oh, this is a very exciting pack of cards. The one that was made.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is how he's so hyped up about you. Well, how do you feel? And do you guys have any form of relationship?
No. 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 Me and Dana White, we've never met.
Wow.
We've never talked. I've seen him, but I've been down in the poker room along with. Actually, this was one of the most fun nights I ever had.
Whoa.
It was after I gotta hydrate with that diabetic soda. Yeah, I gotta do that because we're Americans. You gotta
Water.
get that diabetes.
Wow.
You're
Water is the
drinking
best.
water, and yeah, I'm drinking soda. There we go. Yeah, and that's got that red dye crap in it too that kills everybody. But anyways, so I'd go down and I'd be in the poker room, and this time I had built a set of cards for the Crazy Hawaiian, and
Oh,
so
the guy in Power Slap.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
So the,
crazy
the Crazy
Hawaiian. Know
Hawaiian
him.
kind of like we had a good bond. Great guy. Every time I see him, we hug. And that's what happens after I do these cards. Also, is that personal relationship gets stronger
Hmm.
because it does. There's an intimacy there when you give something that's completely concocted out of your mind and then build it into a sports card of that one person. It does. It sort of builds a different sort of energy. So I always get hugs from him, but I was standing right behind him and his wife there at the poker room, and there's Dana, and he gets up and he goes, "Well, I'll see you in Abu Dhabi," and he gives they give a hug to each other, and I'm kind of I do get some pictures with some people and meet some people, but sometimes in those events and things, those people are overwhelmed.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if you like, if you were anybody watches this Power Slap 12 that was on the YouTube, I call it the YouTube. That's a hill, but the YouTube, that old Webernet. But if you were to watch it on YouTube, Power Slap 12, you'd see me in a red Nebraska shirt and my white bucket hat.
Well,
and you can see me throughout the whole thing, and when you go to those, like I said, you form those bonds. And so going on to with the crazy story, we decided, we're like, hey, this ain't no fun, there's too many people. That's what the crazy Hawaiian felt like that, so that's why I try to respect everybody and give them their space, but when you see Chuck Liddell, you don't give him his space, you walk up and ask for a picture, but so we left and we went all the way through Vegas. I just followed him. I had driven to Vegas from Nebraska, so I had my pickup, and so we just followed him all the way through Vegas, up into North Vegas, and made it to his parents' house. And oh my word, a Las Vegas block party at 2 a.m.
whoa.
It was insane.
Sounds insane.
The whole block was just loaded with motorcycles because they ride motorcycles. We'll call it a motorcycle group. Was there group, and then they had the canopies, and they had they had a pork, because that's the first thing I asked for. I was like, hey, yo, where's the pork? This is a Hawaiian party. Where's that pig at? I want some of that pork. So, and anybody that doesn't eat pork, I'm sorry, that's just I like bacon, and that's just me. But so I met his dad there. That's when I met his dad, because his dad came up. He's like, of course we do. Let me get you a plate. And then started meeting some of the people around and talking and hanging out at the Crazies after party at his dad's house in Vegas. That was just a super cool way to end that trip. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I just try to respect
These guys
most
really
of them.
appreciate you.
Well, I
It's
appreciate
interesting,
that.
and you have fun with them as well. Like from
Yes.
WWE, Power Slap. I know you do have like this really, really strong connection with the Power Slap guys. It helps you to explore your artistry, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that customization that is required makes you form a strong bond with them. Do you want to talk a bit about the process, the creative process, and
Yeah.
how you get to interact and get to know these human beings genuinely?
Yes. So the process, it actually started like with getting into this slap community in 2023 December in Miami. I flew to Miami to meet Slap for Cash, because I'd seen some of his stuff, and he had just signed a contract with Power Slap, and we had been friends on Facebook. So we connected, and I made him some cards, and then I flew down to Miami. I met him in Little Havana, Cuba, down there, and we hung out. And then he gave me another name of another fighter that was in Power Slap that was interested in having his cards built. So then there comes in Donnie Van Heerden from South Africa,
Oh,
who became just one of my best ones, one of my biggest hugs. So he wants a set, so that I have one set of cards to build, and it's 10 cards. And so what I did in the beginning was I went with this just base, try to make everything look the same, kind of a blue background with a hand on it, and then their image along with a metal, like a chrome. It's paper stock, but it looks like a chrome plate, so they could sign their autograph on it, and then make a back for it also. And that's what I did for Donnie. And then I decided, hey, why not go check out? This is the first time they're ever selling tickets to this. Why not go check it out and hand deliver those cards to this fighter? I'm thinking that's good for business. That's good for your business. You can get in if you hand deliver.
mm,
Sure, I could ship, right? But where's the personal connection in shipping? What have I talked about when I was growing up? Personal connection with humans,
mm-hmm,
right? You don't get that if you ship that box of cards off to him.
exactly.
So for my business, I was like, you got to go and meet him. You have to give him to him. That will hopefully get something else out. And so I went to the Circa, went on that Power Slap 6, gave him his cards, met him, and then he took me back, and I started meeting others. And then I met Jackie. Jackie Cataline, Jackie the hybrid, Cataline, and she has been wonderful in supporting me and lifting me up. Because social media and all that, for a guy like me, it's hard to manage. Nobody wants this. Like but so she's really helped to lift that sort of people following me and building some of my numbers up. Really Donnie and Jackie are the two most responsible for that, if I were to be honest. And then came in the crazy later on with his contract, and then more numbers started coming up because I was getting more followers. After I had done these base cards I got bored with, I decided to show everybody what I could do, what my card art could really be. Where I build these 3D with the borders and they shimmer, and then I do an overlay to where they have a refractor to them if you hold them to the light right. It's like a cracked ice. As you see me looking around for one right now, because I got everything laid out here at my desk.
It's a little fancy stuff.
Yeah, like here, here I can show you this. Here's like that. That's a Patrick Mahomes one I've done.
Whoa, this is beautiful.
Actually, that's a painting in the back. It's a section of a painting from a local artist.
Wow.
So yeah, and then then the backside. So there's your card.
Wow, I'm wondering how I can get some of your work in the UK.
Yeah, hey, is all anybody has to do is follow me on Instagram, get a hold of me, because I'm starting to spread my wings a little bit, and I'm traveling somewhere else this weekend also for an event for a company. So yeah, but building the cards, and then you talk to them, you ask them what their favorite colors are, what their favorite sports team is, or what's something significant in their life. In fact, that's why I had to build a wedding card. I built a wedding card for one of the Power Slap fighters.
Wow.
Yeah, Donnie Van Heerden. He got married to his wife, Lindry, in Vegas right before Power Slap 6. And so at Power Slap 8, where he was competing, he wanted me to make a special card of him and his wife when they were walking down to get married at the chapel, and then have it made into a sports card. And so I made a sports card of those two as they're holding hands. And then in the background of that card, what I'd done is I'd taken a picture. Fremont Street has a big arch above it, and there's always these lights and stuff. So throughout the trip, I would take random pictures of the lights above, because they had these different designs. So I picked a design out of one of those of the lights and made that the background. So the Vegas actually roof light is the background of their wedding card with them marching down the aisle. So, wow. Yeah, I mean,
that's really, really insane. And of course, now you're giving me ideas. Are you able to make a set of cards for the King Dems Podcast?
Anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you on record. You're on record, so you're gonna commit to making a pack of cards for this podcast. And of course, our people can't wait to see this.
Yeah, I'll make you a pack of cards.
Wow.
You got to pay the shipping.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
We've got money in the UK.
All right, cool. Because Canada ain't got no money.
On the other side of the pond,
Yeah. Canada ain't got no money, and they don't pay for that shipping, and yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Of course, the pound is more expensive than the dollar.
Yes. That's great. And hey, I'm happy for you guys. About time.
And you know something? We see the future because we are hours ahead of you as well.
Well, you're more open-minded. I'm sorry, and as an entire continent, you're more open-minded.
Oh, why do you think so?
Because we're still in the Old West. We're still cowboys. I still see people riding horses.
That's better for the planet.
We have better for the planet. Tractor day, where the kids drive their tractors to school. Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's a different world here. So they're stuck in that world where they think that's what the world's always gonna be. They got their land, they got this, they got that, and everything that's theirs in that block and up above, that's what matters. And they don't care about anything else.
Oh wow. I think that's a good way to segue to the next question that is on my mind. I love art. I am a very big art enthusiast. If you check my Instagram page, for example, you see pictures of me in quite a number of museums, galleries, exhibitions. I love art. But I feel that in this age and time, there's this fusion between art and science, and the science is taking away the authenticity of
Yep.
the art.
Yes.
So, for your own craft, what would you say is the mix between the art and the science?
Well, I tell you, I see a lot of science coming into this art, okay? That's not art. Plink, 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 poking buttons on a keyboard and then letting AI make an image.
Yeah.
And then you print the image out yourself on a copier. And then you stick it to cardboard and call it art. No.
No.
You know what? Art is done with that. An X-Acto knife. You know, you cut out your borders. You cut out the people. You cut out around the people when you build them up with their outsides and put that shine in. You put your own personal vision into the cards you're doing. You know, here you go. I got some right here. Remember Tecmo Bowl?
Wow,
So here is the Bo
that's an old
Jackson.
game.
There's the Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl Color Blast with cracked ice. Do you see that effect of the card where it kind of shimmers a little?
Yeah, it shimmers.
Yep. So I did that overlay there, and then there's the back of that card.
Wow.
A Bo Jackson card. So, but yeah, and then here we got. Oh, here's an old school one. This is one of the first ones I ever did. This is a John Elway one, okay? And you know, you got your Super Bowl trophy right here, and two different John Elways. And if you look at that angle there. You see how it's 3D? How this one right here comes out. So then you've got a 3D effect when you look at it at a different angle.
Yeah. And of course,
The shimmer,
the
the
angle
shine.
of the image changes.
Yep, it's all about the shine. And even with me in my collecting, I'm like a raccoon. I love shiny things. I want to grab them, shiny. You know. Let's see here. You guys know Eminem.
Eminem, the rapper.
Eminem, yeah, Eminem the rapper.
Definitely.
Okay, so what I did is Eminem supported the boxer Bud Crawford, the champion Bud Crawford.
Terrence. Yeah,
Terrence.
Terrence.
Okay, there you go, Terrence. Okay, we call him Bud here in West Nebraska. Bud Crawford. But yes, Terrence.
The only Bud I know is Bud Light and Budweiser.
That's awesome.
I'm not able to make you laugh. By the way, I want your autograph on the pack of cards for this podcast.
I autograph every single card I do. Every single card that's mine, I autograph.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So this one is when he walked out with Terrence Crawford at his fight.
Wow.
It's just like a mirror, right? And the Big O is Omaha. That's what they call. That's the nickname for Omaha, is the Big O.
And of course, as you change the angle, it's giving you different 3D effects.
Yeah. And the shine and the holo. You know, and the thing is, you know, I do all these by hand, one man by hand. I do have and the reason I do, here we go. Here's a good, why do I? Well, I did have a card shop. You know, I was a serious collector also. And I had card shop with my buddies, and it, you know, like a lot of small town, hometown, small shops, it went down. You know, it went under. So, yeah, dude, we're America.
More than 60% of businesses closed down in the first 5 years.
Yes.
More than 60%.
Yes, but I was also a successful musician and piano teacher for 15 years.
Wow.
So I used to travel the nation and play in a band. I used to go down to Texas and play. In fact, Cody Johnson, who is the #1 country star right now in America, his keyboardist and guitar player, I've actually been on stage with and played music with and jammed with in my own home.
Wow.
So
is it safe to say you're a jack of many trades and a master of some?
Yes, I'm a very artistically connected human on a different frequency than some others, we'll say. I live my life on a different frequency, on a different vibration. Yes, I embrace it though. It's fun. It's fun too. Why fight it? I fought it for years, trying to be the American worker. I built
Mm,
bridges. I was lead man on the railroad on winter, building bridges for the railroad. You know, I ain't no life to live. I wanted to find a life, and live, and just live.
mm.
So I quit that railroad stuff and did musician stuff. That musician stuff ended up after 2020 kind of shutting down a lot of things. No more gigs in country clubs or bars or parties or weddings. That got shut down. So the music business for me at that point ended in 2020, and then I had to find something else to do, and that's when the cards started. And then we started Card Store. It shut down, and then guess what? There's a whole big inventory of cards.
Wow.
So I have to figure out what to do with them. And I keep watching this slap stuff on YouTube late at nights as I'm cutting these sports cards, And then I just think I need to find something that nobody else is doing.
Mm.
Nobody else. That's the thing. You want to find something that nobody else is doing. You want to be the first at something.
Something in business school we'll call that a blue ocean strategy. That is contesting in uncontested market spaces. When you
Nice.
operate in an uncontested market space, it gives you something called the first mover advantage.
Yep. And as a card artist, that's what you do. You look to be the first at something, and whether it be the first one that did a 1986 border around, a basketball player, some just whatever. They got to be the first at something. But I want to be the first at something and make it big. So I started watching that, and I was like, you know what? Those guys don't have sports cards. Those guys are getting up on stage and knocking, slapping each other. They're athletic. They're showing like they're athletes. They're playing like a sport. Why don't they have cards? Bingo. I'm going to be the first one to build power slap card. And so that's when I started.
And then boom.
Yeah, it's just blown up. It really has.
The rest is history. And something that resonates between yourself and myself is that artistic spirit. And they say the real recognize the real.
Oh wait, did you just say that? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's something.
The real recognize the real. Like even just from when you engaged with my content on Instagram and I reached out to you, I just knew there was something special about you. And I don't know why you engaged with my content. I don't know why you took a liking to me, but I did take a liking to you, and I very, very much appreciate your artistry. I am artistically minded as well, but I've had to do a lot of other things in my lifetime. But I see that it makes you look different, and as a person, when you embrace your artistic side and you look unconventional, right? When you embrace yourself. But when you embrace yourself, you embrace your artistry, there are limitless potentials to what you can achieve as a person. And I like to say it doesn't make sense, right, to people until it begins to make sense. So
yeah, and I get it.
so how's the journey been for you as well? Because I'm sure a lot of people would have misunderstood you along the way.
Now, can you repeat that? I didn't hear that one.
I said, for you, how's the journey been? Because I know that a lot of people would have misunderstood you as a person along the way.
Okay, the journey for me, it's been amazing. It's been lucky, dumb luck, just dumb luck. And then it just goes back to my whole life, my whole journey in life. But even this card art journey, it's just been dumb luck.
You call it dumb luck, but I'm gonna ask: Are you religious? Are you Christian?
I was raised to believe in God.
Okay. Because I was going to just give you a portion of the scripture that says something. It says, God has chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. So the foolish things of this world are actually chosen to confound the wise. So it's no such thing as dumb luck. It might look like dumb work, Dumb
Well, okay,
luck rather, but then it's God's work.
you know, or you could call it hustling, being a hustler.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
then God blesses your
moving and
hustle.
shaking, getting things done. That's what it was. It was, I follow people around and just try to first meet a person.
Mm.
It goes back that whole thing, that connection to a person. Meet that person and then do their cards. But the whole artistry thing, and you got to feel it too, like you said earlier with the technology and the artistry. You got to know that you feel a pressure, right?
Hmm.
And you feel like it's like weird that everybody likes this made up thing on a screen that has put no human effort into it at all, no human creativity, no imagination, no effort, and no passion or no person into it of
Yeah,
yourself,
it's.
and that's what art is. And that's my whole thing when I first started. Of course you want money, right?
Hmm.
That wasn't about money. It became not about money for me.
Mm.
It became about eyeballs. I wanted as many people to be able to see what I do, to see my cards in as many places as they possibly could. I wanted every card. I want every card collector to want a Vern White card and have it in their personal collection. That's and so what I've done is majority Jackie. I'll tell you, Jackie and Donnie, Johnny, Don. There's been some that they've given, and Tyson the Slap Kid's dad. They've given me money for the cards, but I mostly give them all away, and I don't think that's something that people realize. So I think there is a misconception about me out there. I believe that I'm wealthy. No, no, it's quite the opposite. I'm very poor financially. But my brain doesn't care about money. I
That's
care,
the thing with artistry. Yeah.
yeah, I care about my art. I care about somebody loving that card I give to them. That's what's important. That's where the boom comes. That's where that green glow of an aura comes right out of the chest from each other and connects you. When you get that, I mean, that's to give somebody that and share that feeling. What's that value?
Yeah. So, and yeah, in the spirit of true artistry, commercialization actually has a way of corrupting the genuineness of art. And I appreciate how you have not let money corrupt the true artist's spirit inside of you.
I know about that other side of
Commercialization
life.
and science.
I know
What
what
did
you're
you say?
saying about that other side of life, though. I mean, I
Yes.
know about that high end, wealthy side of life, and I walked away from it. Because that's not where my happiness was. It wasn't invested in a dollar. It was my mind is in a journey. That's where my value and my wealth and my drive is in this journey. I mean, who I get to meet and what I get to do, and I'll just say it. Like this weekend, I'm going to Branson, Missouri. I was invited to Slap Fight Championships double barrel event, and that company only sends out invites. There's no cost. There's no tickets. It's like a fight club. So it's an underground thing, but it is on YouTube constantly. Yeah, ran by JT Tilley, and so that's where I'm heading Thursday. I'm heading to Branson, Missouri, another real open-minded place.
Interested. You should enjoy that experience. You should enjoy the experience. But for you, like, why do you like slap fighting? Because for me, it took me a while before I could wrap my head around it. And I've had two guys from Power Slap on this same podcast. But I just had them on to try to, because I am open-minded, like you rightly said earlier. I wanted to understand the concept behind it, understand where the mind of the participants, is at. And I discovered these guys are amazing human beings,
Yes.
super amazing human beings. I'm a big fan of the UFC, right? I'm a mixed martial arts guy, stand-up guy all the time. But I want to understand from your perspective as a fan, like, why are you drawn towards this?
Why am I again?
Why are you drawn towards a power slap? Like, what's the feel behind the passion?
Okay, I will say in the beginning, the very first one was all business. I was gonna build a business, and I was gonna build it around my cards with Power Slap, and I was gonna somehow get in there and really do it. And then after the first one, after hanging out with the fighters, after meeting them, realizing, hey, a majority of these guys and gals are in the same boat I'm in. They ain't got a penny. They can't afford to pay me for a card. But why do they still not deserve one? Just because they don't have money? But then that's when you start just that. I don't know, my brain keeps bringing back that whole personal connection thing, there when I get to meet them in Vegas. That's just where it always loops around to, because that's when I realized that, I really loved this group, this Power Slap, because of the fighters. Not because of the fights, not because of Dana White, not because of some influencer on the other side of the velvet ropes, not because of Tom Brady sitting next to him. None of that. Because I love the fighters. The people, who they are. There's some really awesome people that perform up on that stage and stick their face out there and just let somebody whack them. And that's all anybody sees. That's all anybody sees. And so they see that, and I'll tell you, I don't think it's the brightest thing to do.
I'm glad you are leading to that point, because I
I'll
never really
just tell
could.
you, I always say it. No, I don't. I think it's like the most intelligent way to go out and get money. No, would I? Well, if they offered me a contract, I would, to be honest. But that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You get everyday normal Joe, offer him some kind of contract, go up there to be on TV and get their block knocked off. Sign me up. That, and that's America. There's a line out the door. There's a line out the door for these power slap things of people just saying, just hit me, please. Let me show you. Just hit me.
Okay.
To be honest, and here's the other side. All this is going back to the Roman times, going back to the Colosseum. Pure human violence. There's the camera. That far away from death. For real. Think about it. Have you seen some of those slaps?
They are
Have you
very
seen
vicious.
some of those landings? And then
Very, very
CTE that's going to set in? I know that.
It seems like the fastest way to.
But I also know this, though.
I don't know.
In the MMA, you're getting hit a lot harder and a lot more than those 3 times.
But you can defend yourself in MMA.
You can. Some don't. but yeah, you can.
But then I still think a power slap is still the fastest way to a CTE.
Fastest way to
to a CTE.
Yeah. It's a direct blow to the head, and they're not. Power slap hasn't been real good with their rules and the consistency of their rules and exactly what their rules are. With a club, because there's times I think I'm like, oh man, that dude got clubbed bad. Like,
it's a new sport. It's still evolving.
But it's not really that new. The sport was around before Dana White came. Dana White's not the one that invented this. Sport's been around since
Yes, it has.
2016, 2017.
He made it popular, so I think over time
He
they
did.
would
Put the UFC flair into it. Is what he's done for sure. And that's what's brought it to the format, to where it's at. But that's what he did. He put the Dana White UFC flair into something that was going on that he wanted to be a part of. And I think that's super cool because I mean, I've
Yeah.
had nothing but great experiences from it. I've had some that were kind of, but all my experiences have been good. They ended well. I'm still here. They all ended well.
With the UFC marketing machine behind anything it would sell, those guys have got great
I got a
PR
question.
strategy.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but sometimes that spider web can start spreading out too many places.
Mm.
And he just signed now a boxing deal.
Yeah, with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and people are worried that he's spreading himself
That's what
thin.
I'm saying. Spider webbing out too much, and then all of a sudden that spider web is going to collapse in because it can't hold the weight of that rock in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's not what you think, but then I think the UFC are quite smart and sustainable because I know that
I don't
they've
think
got
there's never UFC's
executives,
fine.
that can handle
UFC
things.
is fine. I worry about I am concerned about the extras. All the branching out.
The extras, yeah, they can be experimentations. You can keep
Yeah,
experimenting too.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I've been lucky enough to have my hand in on what I've been able to do and meet the people I've been able to meet. It's been a this it's not just it's been like a blessing. It's been really cool to be able to do the things I've done and take this journey along with the people I have. So yeah, I'm a grateful guy. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for you.
Gratitude is good attitude. Always gratitude is good attitude. You are able to elevate just simple collectibles, to valuable investment pieces. I see White talking about some of the cards and says, "Oh, this one is worth $8,000, $10,000," and I'm like, "Wow, just a card? How? Wow,
That's the Grail. That's the Michael Jordan rookie card
wow."
right there. So yes, now go on. I just wanted to show some animation as you're giving your talk there.
So, like, how have you seen this market, change over the years?
I'm glad you called it a market because it's a market. You have to watch every sport. You have to watch every player. You have to watch the minor leagues, and know who's coming up, and then you have to watch the trends. You got to follow the pop culture part of it. What the athlete does out. Wander Franco, millions of dollars were lost in money on his cards. Wander Franco was a baseball player. Is that what you're going to ask me? Who's Wander Franco?
No. I'm just surprised. Like, he lost millions of dollars on his cards. Like, what happened?
Well, the world did. The world did because he was going to be the next best player we've ever seen on the field.
Hmm.
And he showed it in his rookie year, and so then, even I just sold the last of mine, for like $100. But people were investing millions in his cards all over.
Wow.
And then he pulled what has become what used to be in the dark that really is out in the light now. He did that kind of stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? Did he?
That shall not be named.
I mean, DID space H he. Did he? I'll just say that. I mean, and so then his market went from like cards selling for $500,000 a piece, dropping down to $2,000. Like that. That's how fast that market works. So if the player lets you down off the field, you can lose money. Oops, I just kicked the camera, sorry. But you can lose money off the field. So every card you buy when you're doing real collecting with your personal collections is a risk. Like I got, here's a couple. Like this is a Jamar Chase 5-patch rookie auto card, numbered to 10. That was a good investment because he's a really good receiver and he's going to go down in history. So that should go up in price and be probably close to $1,000 card. But then you go with the same kind of guy right here with Tyreek Hill. He's really good. He's talented, but this probably only worth $100. Just because of where he plays because of his attitude. He has a bad attitude. He's not good in the locker room. So that takes the value of his cards down. It's a market. And you're investing in a person.
Yeah, that person's goodwill, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, card collecting is, you have to be willing to lose. And really, you have to love the hobby. You got to love the hobby.
Hmm.
If you don't love
Interesting.
the hobby, don't collect.
So in terms of, this predictions now, you guys identify trends, try to make predictions about things that would happen with this sports guys, entertainment, celebrities, pop culture, cut markets. So what do you think are the emerging trends, what to look out for, the shining stars, the bright prospects right now?
Actual players, like real to invest in. If somebody was gonna, what
Yeah,
I'm investing in.
no, like popular, would I say, the cards that are popular on the streets right now.
Well, there's depends on what league. Baseball. I know I'm going in on Jackson Merrill. He plays for San Diego Padres. I really think he's going to be something big. And when you invest in a baseball player card, you try to get ones that come in at a very young age and
Oh,
can start and play. Like if they can play at 2021, because then they have the potential to be one of those that breaks historical records. So
oh,
that's what you're looking at when you first collect a baseball card, is if they can do it. So that's a long-term investment usually. It can turn out real short-term, real quick, but it's a long-term investment more or less. Football, basketball, that's more trendy. That's because those guys, they're more going out, it seems. Even though I did just talk about Wander Franco being in trouble, but you always hear about the basketball players getting in trouble or the football players. So that market is more week to week on players. So right now, I would say in football, any of the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. Any of the Eagles, like Jalen Hurts, Ricky Otto.
These guys have been on a roll lately.
Yeah. Yeah. So those guys, they're real tough. They're gonna do well. In baseball, like I said, Jackson Merrill or Ellie De La Cruz.
Mm.
That's another one that's coming on the rise, and a lot of people are buying. Now people are getting back into, and I've had this for a while, but they're getting into grabbing Saquon Barkley because he was the running back for the Eagles, but he played for the Giants when he was a rookie. So this card has now become one of them that's kind of out there. Patrick Mahomes rookie.
Patrick
Patrick
Mahomes.
Mahomes rookie card. And yeah, that's the rookie patch. Quarterbacks, always collect quarterbacks. If you're going football.
Yeah, quarterbacks are always popular. I don't
Yes.
know.
Yep. That's your best gamble. It's all a gamble, but your best gamble is the quarterbacks in football. And in baseball, no pitchers. So do not go after pitchers ever. Their value's going nowhere. Okay? Nowhere. Ever. I mean, maybe one pitcher every 10 years. So just stay away from that. Don't even try for that. Unless they're your cousin and you want to collect their cards. That's it. If they're your cousin, collect them. If not.
How about combat sports? How about combat sports?
What's that?
I said, how about in combat sports?
Combat sports? I love it. I mean, I got some Sugar Sean stuff.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I was big on him. But I saw Merab fight before,
Mhm.
like 2 fights before they fought. And I was like, that's a problem.
Very big problem.
So
My money
so
was
I
on
went
Merab
out.
to win.
So I went out then after I saw that, and I started investing in Merab autographs, because at that point you could buy a Merab autograph card for $20. Yeah. 2 months before his O'Malley fight. Yeah. See.
And now,
So
like, what is it worth right now?
it'll probably $100.
Wow.
Now, if I were to send it into PSA and have it graded, and if it were, and I won't because it wouldn't get a 10, and you can only, that's what you got to shoot for is 10s. You can probably triple that value if you get a PSA 10. So yeah, you go from purchasing a $20 card, and if it turns out to be a $250 to $300 card, once it's graded, that's a good investment. But yeah, so
So,
you got to watch those fighters. But I've always loved Nate Diaz.
oh, the Diaz brothers, lose those guys, their stock keeps going up. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
what is it with these guys? You are American, you are familiar with the culture, but like, what is it? Win or lose, these guys still remain superstars. Their stock
I
still
tell you,
rises. Like, why is that?
because they're OGs. They're
OGs before
Generation
IG.
X OGs. They come from the streets. They're kids just like we were. Only they were the two guys that were the tough kids in the class. They were the guys that everybody looked up to and wanted to be around because they knew they'd be protected. That was just
Mm.
that they were that way, and they will always be that way, and so they will always be gangster.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
and of
That's what
course,
it is.
they're very
Always be
authentic.
gangster. And same with Conor McGregor. I'm Irish.
Yeah.
My mother's side, they were Kennedys. We were
Oh,
Kennedys.
wow.
Yeah, so not I missed the boat on the anti-trips up in Pennsylvania or whatever. I never got that. But anyway, oh shoot, I forgot I got on a fun tangent on Kennedys. How did I do that? Run me back real quick, please. What were we just talking about?
You're talking about the OGs.
Oh yeah. So we got McGregor, OG. I've always liked him. I've always liked his swag. How he carries himself.
Yeah, the brash
Kind of been
charisma.
stupid last year though.
The controversies, and interestingly, I was in Ireland last year. Yeah, I was in Ireland, Northern Ireland,
Nice.
and Republic of Ireland. I asked a couple of people. I tried to sample the street credibility. I think a lot of people are sort of less on his hype right now.
Yeah. His market's down. We'll say. You could get a card cheaper now of McGregor that would have had a really higher value right before that movie or right as that movie was coming out. That was probably his peak in his card.
The Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah,
Yep. I think
that movie was interesting.
yes, it was interesting. I like it because I like UFC. I like
Yeah,
Conor. I don't care that he's not going to get an Oscar for it. I don't care about any of that. I just enjoyed watching him being a big old brute dummy, on the movie. It was fun for me, and I actually remember going to the theater and watching the original. Boom, old. So
well,
yeah, but his market, it went down after that movie because of the pop culture criticism of his acting.
cancel culture.
There's the market.
Many thanks to Gen Z's. Cancel culture is real. It's real.
Horrible. It's horrible. If we don't remember sins of our past, they'll be repeated. And sometimes some of these things that we've erased, we've taken down, they weren't meant to be. They were in the moment, I believe, meant to be racist. I believe as they were being put up, they were meant to be racist. But I also believe that in like the year 2020, I think they should stick around to be a reminder to never forget here in America what everybody has been through as far as all cultures, not just the white culture, not just the Europeans. Those monuments that they took down, everyone was so mad at. Over here in America, that's that cancel culture, and it's just it is a negative thing then. But we need to remember that those things happen so they don't happen again. And if we erase all that, guess what? It's going to happen again because there'll be no history of it. It just I think those things, I think we need to learn from those things and be reminded. We need to be reminded of how we acted. The Caucasians throughout these times in building America.
Yeah, I think history is, is a very important guideline to pattern the future. Definitely, definitely. And I think what a way to segue into talking about vintage versus modern cards.
There you go.
What are
your
personal preferences and why?
Oh man, I don't know. You put a 1952 Mickey Mantle in front of me, I'm going nuts. Just like the Michael Jordan, that's vintage. Vintage is where the value is almost a guarantee. They're not going to play anymore. They're not going to get any more stats. The next step is either the Hall of Famer or death. And those are the next two peaks. Market, being real. But that's what happens is the market goes up on those two instances after their careers. Right? But so their focus is a guaranteed vintage. Because when the card comes out, like you saw, I don't know if you saw with Power Slap, but when a new series comes out, that's when the market is the absolute highest. I do know that, like, before the cards came out, let's say, anything of Dana White's autograph, you could not find for less than $250. Anything on eBay. Okay?
Wow.
They come out with these Power Slap cards, and now you have Dana White's autograph. It's on the cards, and they become more accessible. What happens to the value now? Now you can go buy a Dana White autograph for $100. I think I sold mine. I think I sold it for like $50 because I was just like, here, I just want money. Give me money. Take the cards. But yeah, I mean, that's just the market. It's a market. I love how you said that. And the art's the market, the vintage, the current. But that's where the guaranteed money is. I believe is in the vintage. But of course, I do like modern. I do like modern. I do. Because they're so beautiful. The concepts are really cool that they come up with now. They're not so much cardboard paper. That they're more compressed, and they got the shine and the foil and the refractors. They're a lot more. The new cards are a lot more beautiful. To look at and to see. Unless you see a lot of detail. Unless you see a perfect vintage card. So you either got the really new rookie, let's say Victor Wembanyama, or Victor from France. He plays
the basketballer.
Yeah, the big tall basketball.
Yeah, that very tall guy.
Yeah.
That guy is tall.
Oh yeah, like Victor. Here we go, like Victor, right? He's one that I collect. He's one of my chase guys.
Wow.
And he's new. So, and I also chase and like new Caitlin Clark. I think she's changed the game of WNBA.
Yeah.
Changed the game of WNBA, changed the face of it, changed the game for women's basketball forever in a positive, good way, I think. So that's why I'm collecting her cards, just because I think that'll be the way she affected it. It'll be kind of like Michael Jordan, the way he affected the league when he came in. That sort of punch. It's given that sort of punch when she got the contract she got. So, trends, the market. So those are the new ones. Yeah, so I like them both. And if you're a collector at heart, you like everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a collector at heart, you also like everything everybody else gets. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You're not jealous because somebody rips open something and they get the card that you wanted, but yet it was in their pack, right? You're genuinely happy for them if you're a collector. That's my thoughts on it. Because that's what I practice is when somebody gets something really cool, something in life happens to somebody that's really cool, I'm happy for them. Give them good energy for that. Don't try to take away from it. That's my collector's outlook. I think
that's the right thing to do, the right mentality.
Yeah. Well, it's a frequency, it's vibration, it's
energy.
It's the energy. We're all just batteries. Depends on if we're a positive battery or a negative battery. And then some of us are, those 9 volts, those special 9 volts.
I was going to say something. The rarity, of the vintage ones, I think, is what gives it, that the extra steam.
Yes. Yeah, because to be honest, I did it too. As a kid, we put baseball cards in our bicycle spokes. We'd take a clothespin and we'd pin right on the metal the cards. So then when we pedaled our bikes, those spokes would wheel around, and as they hit those 2 cards,
Uh, crazy.
So older
Oh,
cards then, we'd be like, oh, that's an old one. Let's put it in spokes.
you never knew you were winning
Yeah, yeah. So it is
thousands of
rare.
dollars.
It's rare. It's rare. Those
Mhm.
those cards. You're right. And that's why whenever you see one that is really beautiful or in great condition, graded like a PSA even 8 from a 50s card, I mean, it's special to see. If you get to see it, for me, if I get to see that card live in front of me, I,
Goosebumps.
yeah, I'm I'm grateful at that moment that I get to see that card. Just grateful to be able to see that card. Yeah.
Feels like a blessing. But
Yes.
you are an OG, but you have been, able to build an impressive, what I say, following on social media. So, like, what strategies actually work best, in terms of engaging with your audience?
Recently I didn't follow my own rule because sometimes we don't. You know, but the biggest thing is to always be
Mm,
positive. I need to speak up. I talk soft. Always be positive.
mm,
You know, even if you say something that some might see negative, make sure you end that statement with something positive for everybody.
mm.
Nobody wants to hear about your crying. Nobody wants to hear that you broke up with your girlfriend. Oh, poor you. I do care about when people's dogs die. I do. I care about that. But there's just too much stupid stuff that people put out there. So is all I try to do is I try to put positive, happy energy into my social media when I make my posts and I make my videos. That's why almost everything I post has music with it because that music enhances that card. I pick specific songs. I specifically find the sections out of songs to go with those. So not only in cutting cards, but in making those videos of those cards is an art. That's how I make that card hit harder because the words behind the song connect to that. I don't know where I went with that, but that's what you got out of it.
Wow, amazing. I think I'd like for you to describe a transformative moment in your journey as a collector, and of course, the artist that you are, that significantly impacted your mindset and your career path. Your mindset is strictly a positive mindset. What was that transformation that inspired it?
5, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 challenges of COVID
Mm,
with pre-existing conditions of Crohn's disease, kidney problems,
mm,
and then I got the Omicron, that variant, with this body that I have, and it's already pre-ailments, and that
mm.
caused long-term damage in my brain.
Oh,
And then I between each bout, and this went through a year and a half time frame. Between each bout, I had pneumonia.
wow.
And so I'm stuck in a basement throughout all this for almost a year and a half. And that's when I'm cutting all these cards, making all these cards. That's also part of it because I had to start doing something, just something. And I'm surrounded by cards. And so that's what I started. But the 5 bouts of COVID, the pneumonia, and then the brain damage that because I took
Whoa.
3 vaccines because I was a
That's the
piano
first
teacher.
dose, the second dose, the booster.
First dose, yeah.
Interesting. I did take 3 vaccines as well.
Did you? Attaboy. You're in the club. You're in the club. Yes, the club. Though with the Crohn's and stuff, it affected me differently than it affected others. And it did like 80 some percent damage to the gray matter in my brain. So a lot of things now are only worked out by the artistic side of my brain. That's the most useful part. And gratefully, as a musician, and that's the part I'm connected with most. But it does affect like my day to day, life, with like basic bills, numbers. I've missed a flight every trip to Vegas except this last one. Last one, I nailed it. But I miss flights. I stay night in airports, just because I never knew. My brain had forgotten that flight time isn't load time, stuff like that. Simple little tiny things. If your brain has got eaten away and taken away, so then you're kind of a dummy, actually. And that's why I call myself. That's why I'm the way I am. Because I say, I'm kind of dumb.
Technology can actually help,
It can. It does. It does. It does. That's how it gets me from place to place. It's the technology. So therein, the technology that I fight and fear so much, it's helping my life.
It comes in handy,
It's helping my life. Yeah. So there's some positives to the technologies, but they better slow some of this stuff down. And it's too late. It's too late. Once quantum chip came out, done. Once Google quantum chip, and we're on Google right now. Once that Google quantum chip came out, it's over. It's a new world. And it's going to come real quick, And that's why I'm just going to keep with my exactos and keep cutting my cards and just keep being in my world and being happy and sending out positive vibes whenever I get a chance to. And not worry about tomorrow. Just be happy today.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to live life. Being grateful and of course being positive. A lot of people do not know how much it helps as a human being. Just staying positive and being grateful. And of course, where I come from, Nigeria, they say if there's a thing we say in pidgin English. We say if you don't get evidence, you go explain tire. Meaning if you have no evidence, you're going to have to do a lot of explanation. These things actually resonate with my own personal philosophy. And of course, if you're able to see what is written on my wall, you see that.
I see. Read it to me because I can't. My eyes. I'm old. Read it to me. Okay. I want to hear it.
Okay. It says things to remember. Tomorrow is a new day. Making mistakes is part of life. Not everyone has to like you. Keep an optimistic attitude. Beauty and strength come from within.
Nailed it.
So
everybody doesn't have to like you.
Yeah, everybody doesn't have to like you. And of course, keep an optimistic attitude. That resonates with, that philosophy that you actually practice and appreciate. I very, very much appreciate that. For those people who watching us or listening to us, our audience, I think this episode might have inspired them to start their own journey of collection. So what practical tips or best practices would you recommend?
If you're going to get into cards and you want to start collecting cards and you really love it and that's where you want to go, you really have to pay attention to the trends. You can collect people that you like just because you like them. That's fine because I do it. Now, some people make fun of some of the cards I have, but it's just because I like them. That I bought them. And that's okay too to have in your collection. But if you're trying to make money, you really, really, really have to get on ESPN. You have to follow every game. You have to follow the stats. You have to know if they're injured. Because if an injury happens, then their market goes down. And then if they're a really good player, that's when I bought. That's how I got that Saquon Barkley, because he was injured that year playing for the Giants. So it was a $25, $30 card. I got it, snatched it up. Now it's $200 card.
Wow.
It's that you have to have some foresight also, and really know the sport that you're investing in. And if it's just one sport, it can be just one sport. There's tennis, I know soccer, there's football, instead of football. But you know what I'm saying?
You guys call it soccer, but it's a real football. I'm sorry.
It's football. you know. And over here, then the other game is football. You know, that's all. And there should be no soccer. Still should be football. You know,
Exactly.
I get you guys. You know, yeah, what a nasty word. It's an ugly word. You know,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, depending on who you collect, depending on who you go with, just follow their. Got to follow their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how the card game works these days. But you know, don't be afraid to take risks. You know, have fun. Number one, have fun.
Mm.
You know,
Interested.
make it a happy thing in your life. Don't make it a stressful thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. You're
Exactly.
gonna win some big, you're gonna lose some big. You know, that's a hobby. And that's a market. That's a stock market. You
Mm.
know, so
The trading cards markets.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you just stay in tune with the people that you collect, the cards you collect, and you know, if you're looking to make money, then you get a card and you watch, and if that card hits a peak amount, know that that's a good amount of money for a piece of paper and sell it. Sell it.
Piece of paper.
Yeah. Piece of cardboard. Sell it. Because I saw, because I was in the market when it was high. And buddies had a card that was worth $9,000. Joe Burrow rookie patch, or at this time it was Justin Herbert, I think, rookie patch auto, worth like $9,000. Sell it. No, it'll go up to 20. It'll go up to 30. Guess what?
That's greed.
Guess what? 2 months later, the bubble on the market popped. That card's now worth about $75. So right now, they want to talk like it's so great and so great and so great. The market's really tough right now in cards, but it's going to come back. So if you can find the right players at the right price to invest in, you know, do. Because the market will bounce back. And at that point, then those cards will go back up. Always happens. There's all just like the housing markets, just like any other market. It always grows a bubble, it bursts, crashes, and then whoops, all of a sudden, wait 3 years, 3 years, 3 years.
The peaks and the troughs,
Yeah,
always come.
yeah. So
It's just,
that
yeah,
would be
just
my
like the stock
advice.
market, just like, commodities markets as well, But, you have created a lot of cards for a lot of individuals. But which one would you say particularly resonated with you, right? Or would I say with yourself and that person, because the connections differ, even though we seek to achieve this great bond, this strong synergy. But which one would you say you had the most amazing reaction from that person?
Well, the most amazing reaction is, honestly, I mean, they all had great reactions. You know me. I positive. I like them all. Yeah. But the Tyson the Slap Kid, when he got his first card, I think he's 10 years old. 10-year-old kid getting a sports card of himself, of Power Slap, which is his favorite thing in life that him and his dad do together. I mean, he's got an Instagram page that is Tyson the Slap Kid.
Mm.
Okay, so this Power Slap 10, I had built him a couple cards, one for myself and one for him. Well, actually, 1 second, don't fall asleep on me there. It's right here. There we go. Because I built myself one and made him autograph it.
Whoa. Interested. Tyson the Slap Kid.
Yeah. And then that one is another. Here, let's just do this. I haven't done this yet. There, it's out of the case.
Wow.
And then
Shiny.
you can see the different levels.
3D. This is a
That's just
3D card.
the shine on that. And then gave him a belt and the slap hand. Yeah. So that reaction there was pretty amazing
Mm.
because his dad was filming, And then I always sit down on Fremont Street, get in trouble by the cops. You can't sit down. You can get your butt off the floor, stand up. But I always sit down, so I'm sitting down. Got this group around us, filming, and I pull out and I said, you're a good kid. You try hard. You treat your dad right. You're a big fan. And power slap, I said it's all about love. So what I've done is here. And I handed him his card. And he took one look at that card and looked up at me and dove around my neck, and I mean just dove. I mean,
Pure emotions.
Yes. He was
That
so happy
genuine excitement.
to a child.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean,
For a
that
child it's unbeatable because children are the most authentic human beings.
Yep. That's why that was probably the most heartfelt reaction. It's, in fact, as I talk about it, I get the feeling again. That's that positive energy that we talk about, I mean, I can talk about that story, and I can show that video, and I can watch it, and it relives, and it brings that battery right back. It's a good energy. But that was the best one as far as reaction. But the real tightest connection I truly have, I believe, is with Jackie. I went to Denver to watch her MMA fight. I like her fighting in the Invicta right now. She's doing a lot of stuff for Invicta. In fact, she's coming to London to fight.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, here in a month or two, I think she'll be over there in London fighting. But so I watched that part of her life, and then she's also a high school wrestling coach. And she coaches all these kids, and then we stay in touch and talk back and forth. And I usually this is the first time, Power Slap 12 was the first time I hadn't given her a card. So I felt kind of bad about that. But yeah, she's probably the one that I'm kind of like a little sister in a way. It feels like, even though she could knock the heck out of me. I mean, I ain't messing with her at all ever. So yeah,
with half a slap.
And not nothing. I mean, I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to get tied up. I don't want to get punched. I don't want to get slapped. None of that. Not from her. That would hurt. But yeah, there's been a lot of good connections. Lot of them. Makini is one. Okay, Makini and Pono. They got the Samoan culture in their life, right? Something I really love. I've been to Hawaii 4 times, Maui once, and I really like that culture. It's really built around love. Love and light. And so I've drawn to Pono and Makini, and so those are good hugs also.
Interesting. Have you done anything with Anthony DeFrank?
I have not. That's one that actually I took a picture of him this time because I didn't have an image of him to do. Because the only image I had of him was of like me and him, yeah, and you can't really make a card out of that. So I had him stand and do a little pose for me, so I can make a card of him out of that image that I took. So yes, I'll be making a card of him.
Okay, he was on this podcast, last year.
Nice.
And Rayden Bombadier as well.
Yeah, Rayden. Rayden's got a golden heart. Rayden's a good kid. He really is.
Shout out.
I'm 51, and well, I tell you, just this morning, or this afternoon, I got a message from Rayden. I love you. That was the message. I love you, man. That's that guy. No matter, nobody knows the burdens of another man or another person throughout their past. Nobody ever knows that, and what they've gone through to get to where they've been. And to know that some people do have such a hard time, but yet they can come out and have this heart that they still have. That's a strong soul.
That's very, very correct.
So, no, I love him. I think he's a great kid. I do.
Guess what? I just sent a message to Rayden, and of course, he says, "That's my dog."
I love him, man. I love him.
Whoa, am I allowed to show this?
Yeah, what's up, homie? What's going down? What's up, my man?
Rayden,
Man, Rayden, I just was hanging out with him 3 days ago. You know, and on the PS12, me and Rayden, we're right there together, right up there on the rail,
whoa.
right up front. Yeah, yeah,
Rayden is he's a super cool individual.
yeah. I was
Super
actually,
cool
he's one of
guy.
the cards. He's one of the guys that got a card this time.
Oh wow. The
Yeah,
one that says, "That's my dog."
I message him, tell him to say, show me a picture of your card.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
I'll
mean, he
tell
might
him.
not have it on him, but at some time he'll send it to you. But
Okay.
it's an
We
autograph card.
okay, we may be able to get him to join us a little bit, maybe for a short period of time. But before we bring him in, let's see what is next for you, right? What projects are you looking to work on, and what should the fans be expecting?
Well, actually, I'm making a pretty big move, and I'll be here. It's on your podcast.
Wow,
Nobody really knows this. You know,
interested.
they've been sniffing. I've been, throwing out them scents.
Let's
But
get the sniffing dogs in.
yep. But there hasn't been anything really official. So
Okay,
here's your official next move. I'm joining up with JT Tilley
interested.
and the Power or the Pro League Network, Pro League Network in Branson, Missouri, and his different sports and events that he does. So I mean, I'll still do cards for my people, in Power Slap. But now's the time for me to go over to
Look at
Slap
our guy,
Championship.
Let's go.
I
What's
hear
up?
my
Rayden.
boy.
We cannot see you. Why do you have a green screen,
Yeah,
bro?
man. Are you gonna put up a dinosaur or something on us? What are you gonna do?
You
I
guys
don't
can't see
know.
me?
No, we can't see you, bro.
We cannot see you. We can only see a green
I gotta
screen.
see you, homie.
Okay,
Probably
hold
somebody
on.
from Power slapped your camera.
No, nobody's slapping my camera.
Ain't nobody touching this. No. This dude, I can tell you this. This dude was focused at Power Slap 12 during the matches, like he had the next fight.
Yeah,
Yep,
and of course
yep.
I did see
For
Dinner
real.
White give you your rent money. I
Do
want some
you
of
guys
the
can't
Dinner
see
White
me
money,
right now?
bro.
No, we can't see it. We can hear you,
Okay,
though.
let me retry.
Love that dude, man.
Whoa, that's Dinner White's boy right there.
Yeah. See, that's the connection, though. If I don't go to Vegas, if I just ship cards, I miss all these human connections that I'm getting a chance to make. And meet all these
Exactly.
wonderful individuals and humans that bring light into my life, that bring positive energy into me. And that's all I want. Any negative energy, any negative person, anything like that, just stay away. I don't need
Bad
any of
energy,
that.
stay far away.
Yeah. I mean, stay far away. Because, I want to be that guy that's happy and nice and light.
Rayden is coming in with the green screen again.
That's crazy.
Can you see us, though?
I can see y'all.
What's up, brother?
I think this thing has been happening lately with certain iPhones, when you're recording on Riverside.
Samsung.
I can see myself.
We know you can see yourself, bro. Are you able to join us
How
on
you
a
look?
laptop?
No. I'm actually at work right now.
Okay, bro. So that's why he said Samsung for the win. Anyways, we were just talking about you while recording an episode of the podcast, how amazing you are as a person. We can't have enough, kind words and good words for you.
Well, thank you guys.
We appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate the kind words, and it's funny. I think of myself as like a really kind person, and amongst like the power slap community and the UFC community, I seem to be like that one dude that kind of gets like singled out a little bit and kind of like messed with. But
Word.
Vern, when you see me in person, nobody says anything bad to me because they wouldn't want any problems. So
Exactly.
everybody's pretty kind, and I'm a genuine person, and I'm as kind as I can to everybody, and I respect the little people, the big people, the kids, the boys, the girls, everybody. So,
You're as kind to the people as they are to you. You give back a little more, a little more of that kindness. But if somebody treats you with respect and kindness, you're going to do the same, Rayden.
Just because people are not being good people to me doesn't mean that I got to be a bad person to them.
That's right. That's right. And you show that light all the time. That's why. I just told him. He asked if I, Rayden. I was like, yeah, I just saw him like 2 days ago. We were standing right there on the rail in the front row watching the fights. And he's like, well, what do you think of him? And I said,
yeah, I was laser focused that day, bro. I wish I could.
I know, but hey, I knew that. That doesn't affect a relationship when you're super focused on a fight. I knew you were just zoned in.
Just seeing everybody that, like, I know their kids, I know their story, I've lived with them, and like just seeing them fight and possibly get, hurt and things like that. I'm not a big fan of watching the show. I'm not a big fan of watching the show. I'd rather be on the stage fighting, honestly.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of hard to watch. But I'm there for work and straight business. So when I'm there, I'm working, and I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm taking in all kinds of information. I actually have the trading card that you made for me with me. I wish I could show you guys, but
your green screen is not gonna let.
It's all right. Yeah. Just send it. You'll just have to send him a screenshot through your text for him though, because I told him that he needed to see it because it was an autographed card. And actually, that's the first one I've done like that. Taking a plate.
Super dope. It's super dope.
You should send me a picture. I could possibly display it on here.
But Rayden, you're such a good dude. And I was just saying that I just got a message from you this afternoon when I woke up. And what was that message? Hey man, I love you, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I love you back, bro.
I love you too, man.
But those are. It was just odd that he asked that, and then you just sent me that hours ago, and then he pulls you on here. So
sometimes you gotta look back at the things that, like, for me, like I look back at the things that I did this week, and I think about all the things that I appreciate, and that was something that I appreciated in my heart, and like with Pono, I made sure to say I appreciate him, and just anybody that really affected me, or I got to even just kind of hang out and learn from, like Wesley Drain. You know how great it is. I had the chance to train with somebody that had the most matches in Power Slap history. I got to, I didn't even have a fight, but I was out there hiking 4 miles. I was training. I was taking people up to my room, and like I was hitting the pads. Like it looked like I was about to fight, And so like when Dana White gave me that money, it's because I put a lot of work into it. And he told me, good luck, kid. And when I asked him, I was like, hey man, like I used my rent money to get here and to make weight. Like I really thought I was gonna be on the card. I was like, can I please straight up be on Power Slap 13? And this is the first podcast I've got to like kind of talk about it with. And it was cool because I asked him, I was like, hey man, can I please straight up get on Power Slap 13? And he said, yeah, we'll talk to the matchmakers. And how much was your rent, kid? And he gave me a rack, and he was like, yeah, you did a good job. And he kept walking.
Nice.
Like I'm 25 years old, man. So the amount of interactions that I've had with Dana White, like from him watching me fight, from him putting me in a headlock last time, for me, him giving me money this time, like, I think I'm on a really good trajectory.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
And you know what? I think a lot of strikers think that you have to go call people out and make it like WWE and stuff like that. Like it doesn't need to be like that. Like if you stay real professional and you show that you're working and you're kind and you're spreading your gifts to other people, like if I'm getting blessed, I'm going to bless whoever's around me in hopes that they get blessings too, and that's something that I learned from Pono Pao is that, I got there because of him, and I realized there were so many other people there because of him, and he got blessings and he reflected all that stuff onto other people, and it's just great to see.
His light shines. Pono's light shines bright.
I'm actually about to drive down to San Diego when I get the call for Power Slap 13 and train with him and Isaiah Rodriguez. So,
That's a good grouping.
so a lot of people think that, like there's not like a training aspect and stuff like that, but like I was taking information in like a sponge when I was over there.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was watching you.
like I learned
You're
different
talking about your
placement on my
training. You're talking
feet.
about training, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did talk about it the other time. These guys do actually train this. There's some
hard.
sort of technique behind it.
Oh, it's all technique. I tried it. Me
Mhm.
and Rayden on the street in Fremont together did it. He taught me how, or tried to teach me how to do a slap, right?
And it's like sometimes even just little things, like he was trying out, like Vern was trying out the slap, right? Like sometimes maybe going on 2 is better than going on 3, or maybe going on 1 is better than going on 3, and then you just kind of play with it,
Yeah.
and then like a striker, you start tweaking it over time. You start pivoting your foot a little bit. You start twisting your waist. You start. I think I'm at the point where I've trained my slap enough to where I don't need to worry about technique anymore. I just need to worry about the slap. And I know that's weird to
Muscle
think about.
memory.
About hitting the button.
I actually just I'm a sales rep at T-Mobile, and I ran into a gym that's actually across the street, and they have like a whole gym full of bobs. I've never used bobs before as part of my training because I've heard negative and good things about it, but I think I'm going to start hitting some heavier things in preparation to 13 because instead of just hitting the pad, I want to hit something real heavy. And when you do that, you have a chance of damaging your hand, so you just got to be real cautious with it and make them count, just like the real fight.
Yeah, you really got to watch that thumb too. I think that's really susceptible on those slaps when you're hitting those harder things to getting hurt. That inside of that thumb, that nerve.
Yeah, because actually,
you're bobbing your palm too. You gotta watch out for that.
I know you guys can't see my screen, but my like the in between your thumb and your index finger, that like webbed area, that actually gets very damaged, and like you don't realize it, but like you closing and opening your hand starts hurting and kind of being like weird, and you don't feel it in your other hand because most of the time you're striking with one hand, so there is like a damaging effect to your hands. Like I really do expect to have some type of arthritis in my hands when I get a lot older from the sport.
What else do you expect to have when you get a lot older, though, brother?
I mean, honestly, I
hate to say it, but
I mean, this isn't a sport that you want to stick around and
yes,
I'd like to just go after the title, and I'm gonna ride it till the wheels fall off, but I'm not gonna let my brain fall out.
Yeah, attaboy. That's what, because never lose who you are.
Because like Vern, when you care about people, and I was watching the fights the way I was when I saw Anthony DeFrank get knocked out, that's the very first.
Boy, we just spoke about him.
Yeah. That was the very first person I ever met. I love that kid.
Wow.
And to watch his legs shake and seize up, like it's not something that I enjoy fucking watching. I'm there to support them. I'm not there to watch as a fan. Like I'm there to support them. So
yeah.
A lot of people, I was gonna say some of these guys don't think it's life or death. They're just like, we're just gonna get knocked out maybe and this and that. Like to me it's life or death. Like I live by the sword and I die by the sword up there. And if they're not going up there with the sword, then they're gonna fucking lose.
Rewind this podcast. I said it was life or death, didn't I?
Yeah, death.
Didn't I?
Whoa.
Because if you don't think about it as life or death, you're gonna get fucking put in a seizure up there.
Yeah, you really got to take it serious. I mean, real serious.
It's scary. I mean, I have a kid, dude.
I don't know. Yep. This guy is amazing. I really hope you don't do this for too long.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good spot to be in, and it's a good spot to move forward from.
For me to be a 25-year-old, I guess I wouldn't say a success yet, but
yes.
I mean, if you guys want to say that, I mean, that's cool, but I still feel like there's a lot that I need to do. Like, I would love to I need to fight on that live show. You know, being honest, I might have to earn my spot on a live show. So maybe I'd like to fight Tyler Gross next. Maybe, you know, he got a good knockout. I don't want any easy fights. He knocked somebody out in the first round. That's what I want. You know, I want the hardest fight. And you know what? I want to see if he can take that shot too, honestly, because he might be able to dish it out, but I've never seen him, you know, take a good hit. So for me, I'm going for the title, and I'm hoping by the time I'm 30, I'm financially set. By the time I'm 40, I have my own business. By the time I'm 50, I have my own gym and all kinds of businesses going on. So, you know,
Here's the thing. You got your goals. You know, you have succeeded. Now you build upon that and get more goals to get more success. Yeah, man.
I'm just trying to build financial stability for my son, pretty much.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I know.
I mean, who likes to deal with bills and stuff like that? I know I don't. I mean, when I went out to Vegas for this time, you know, think about it this way. I took a gamble on myself. You know, we're going to Vegas. We're talking about bettings, right? Magic roulette. It's red or black. You know, I fucking put all my life on black, and it fucking hit black. You know, so
yeah,
sometimes you just gotta gamble.
Yeah, you gotta bet on yourself. You gotta trust in yourself, your own abilities, your own talents.
And I got a lot of negativity coming back to me from that whole Dana White thing. You know, like you know, you would think that the strikers are more supportive of each other, but really, like, some of the biggest haters are the other strikers. You know, and like, how could you like?
Some of them want their share of the Dana White money.
Right. Like, how could you hate on somebody else, you know, loving a sport enough to take a risk like that, you know? And people are talking, like, you know, I wasn't going to speak on this, but people are hitting me up saying, why would you risk your rent money? You have a kid, how irresponsible. I'm like, bro, like, you don't know me. You don't know my life. Like, my kid doesn't live with me. He lives with his mom, and he's going to have a full belly regardless. And I see him every day, and I make sure I give him money all the time. And, you know, like, that play was all on me. Like, it wasn't gonna affect anybody else. If I were to fuck myself over, it wouldn't have affected him, you know. So I just let the people talk, and you know, hopefully I get a matchup with them.
Hey, you know, don't even pay no mind to that, brother. You know, that's all negative energy. Just let that just anybody that's gonna be like that, you don't want to be involved with them anyway. So it's just like, let them words go. Who cares?
Yeah, it's funny, like that dude Chris Debo, and I'm gonna talk some shit right now.
Go ahead.
Which is not something.
Whoa! This is unfiltered.
This is not something that I really do, but like I was so nice to Chris Debo. I took him to, you know, we hung out with his friend. We went and smoked. We drove around. And he was sitting there talking about how he eats a cheeseburger a day, and he's joking. And this motherfucker misses weight, and then he gets knocked out in like the first round or the second round. And it's like, bro, like you didn't deserve that, honestly. And for you to like now like everybody's kind of settling from the whole dust of everything, and like I was in this group chat and people are getting all upset at each other and at me, and it's just like, bro, like I was so kind to you guys, and I'm like very soft spoken, and I'm texting you in a way where I'm explaining myself, and you know, like me and him unfollowed each other, we took pictures and stuff together and stuff. There's some beef there, man, like honestly, like, so.
Homie, is that why you came over and were around me? I just am wondering because there was no other fighters around me at all.
What a realization!
I mean, you know, a lot of people.
Talking about this, and is that why you came over?
When you're at an event like that and you're a fighter for a company, you have a lot of people that come up and want to speak to you and talk to you. And I didn't want to be a dick, bro. Like I had a fighter like named Giovanni Huerta, like. People were coming up and talking to me, and I was just so laser focused in. Like, I just didn't want to be bothered because I cared about all these people. And I didn't mind, you know, me and Vern were just chilling, but other people just kept trying to talk to me and shit. And I'm just like, bro, like, I'm front row watching my friends fight. Just like let me watch them.
Leave me alone. Let me focus. Let me make sure they're okay. I mean, that's what I saw in your face. There's just so much intensity that you had in your eyes, and like care. And I noticed that. You know, I didn't bother you a whole lot. I said a couple
No,
words to you
no.
here and there, but I knew where you were.
But it's like I had other people come up to me and they were like trying to talk to me, and I'm like brushing them off, and I'm like, I don't mean to be rude, brother, but like I have things that I'm
Yeah.
worried about.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
second, guys. One second.
You're good.
Wow. Vern, I think Rayden needs to hear, we read from the wall shortly before he came on the call, right?
Yeah.
The things to remember, not everybody has to like you. And of
No.
course,
No. And
making
that's what we're.
mistakes is a part of life. And, beauty and strength come from within, and
Yep.
we always need to keep an optimistic attitude. I understand like it hurts, real bad to have people be against you, but it's just life. If you progress, definitely there will be haters. The more you progress, the more the haters. So it's something
Well,
you just have to deal
you're
with.
right.
And of course,
Right.
I know you've seen life, longer and better
Oh,
than myself. And of course,
we
you can
need to have
attest to
another
this.
podcast. We need to have another podcast. I need you to ask some different questions if you want to know about what walls and what you have to fight through to get
The
through life.
battles. And of course, we'll take that one, the battles of Vern White.
Yeah. I've been told I need to write a book.
Whoa. Yeah,
I mean, I used to
we
fight
can, we
bulls.
can
I used
write
to
the
be a
book together.
bullfighter. I used to fight bulls, open musically for all sorts of famous people. I
Interested.
started playing piano professionally at the age of 7. It was my first wedding. I met Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, I did not find this out till I was later, like in my 20s, because my mom did not tell me that Johnny Cash had called and asked if he could let me play 3 shows with them at Cheyenne Frontier Days.
Wow.
And my mom said no, because I was only 12. Yeah,
Wow.
mom did not have a happy night with me that night. No. I was
You know,
very
in
angry that
fairness to
night.
her, she was protecting you.
I know, but it ain't like I'm gonna be smoking dope and drinking whiskey at 12 on a bus when he's, Johnny Cash. Him and his June Carter, she was there too. She probably would have smacked him if he'd have offered me anything like that. But oh well, it is what it is. I mean, I got an autograph, to Vern from Johnny Cash. God bless. So yeah, I still got that memory though.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
I've had a blessed road that's had IEDs along it the entire way.
Mm.
But I just keep moving forward, being happy, being positive. And you know what?
Definitely,
If you
that
keep
is the
moving forward
spirit.
and being happy and positive, the haters hate more.
Yes, they just hit
And it
more.
shuts them up. It shuts them up. If they can't put their hate into your heart and you can just continue to be happy, shuts up the haters.
Yeah, nothing shuts them up more than that. But I think, we've had this really, really, really long session and
Cool.
full of wisdom, full of, education, insights, from you. And of course, looking forward to our next episode together.
Yes.
Because we need to not talk about the battles. So 2 things, the next episode, and of course, I hope the cards would be in London by the next episode. So I'm going to be flashing it. So yes,
hey,
I think
on the cards, what are you just looking for some custom Power Slap cards or what?
custom King Dems Podcast cards. So we need to find a way to do something, with my
For
own,
your podcast.
yes,
You need a custom card for your podcast.
yes, my own image, my own logo.
Yes.
So
Like your image
let's
with
do
your
something.
logo
Let's make
behind
it
it.
happen.
So
Yes.
like what you do is you just, you message me over Instagram images.
Okay.
Images that you like. And then I go through them and
Wow, and you do your magic.
yeah.
Cool. And of course, we'll have that. We'll have that on display the very next time. So before we leave, do you want to give a shout out to anybody before we run?
I want to give a shout out to all the fighters, all of them. Without the fighters, I have not gotten the opportunities that I've gotten. I've not gotten the connection I've gotten. I've not gotten the positive energy that I've received. My cards have not gotten the eyes that they've received. The people that deserve the most credit in all of this for me is the Power Slap fighters. all of them. So
And shout out to Vern, bro, for doing all the stuff that he does for us. You know, he does it with a passion, man, and anybody that's passionate about the sport, you know, I can appreciate. Especially, it's crazy to be passionate about something, but you're not competing in it, so it's not about you. You know what I mean? He's doing it for the love of other people, and you know, it's awesome to watch. And I know I speak for all the fighters that everybody fucking loves Vern. And you know, if anybody knows the story of how he got to this last event, it's because people love him. You know what I mean? So if that should show Vern all the proof that he needs, that you know,
Love and
if
respect.
something happened like that again, that he would be there again because people want him to be there.
I appreciate that, bro. You get to make old man get a tear. Screw that.
Man, Rayden, why are you cutting onions on the show, man?
Bro, it's badass,
Thank you,
dude.
homie.
For him to make cards for us, and these things are gonna live forever, man. Like my mom wants cards. Like I got people in Mexico asking me for my you know, my family members asking me for cards and stuff. Like, you know, it's special, man. It's more than just something physical, man. It's something that lasts like forever, bro. So
It connects us.
right.
It connects us. You know, because you know I care about you. And you know I mean and I you have you got a little extra space in there than others though, Rayden. You know.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, you know, if you ever came out to Cali, you got a spot to stay. So you
Well,
know.
yeah, you know, if you ever find yourself stuck in Nebraska, you got yourself a
And
place to
talking
live.
about California, we just got cleared by the Athletic State Commission for Power Slap. So hopefully we'll see the California kid on the very first, you know, California card.
Well, that's very important because I've been concerned. So I'm very glad they found another state to license. That's awesome.
They licensed like 5 other states, actually.
Did they?
I'm not sure exactly which ones they were.
But that's awesome. Anyway, that's awesome because that's what had to happen, and that's what was being kind of worked on so hard, but wasn't going anywhere for so long, you know. But now it seems like, yeah, if that's what's going. Wow, that's awesome. That's growing.
Mm-hmm.
That's growth.
Hopefully we see, you know, myself, Jackie, Isaiah, you know, Pono, all the Californians on that card. And, you know, I would love to go international after my next event.
Come to London, bro.
I know it sounds crazy to say, but you know, they say that you get paid less to go into the show because that's where you start off, right? But I would like to go back into the show. And I know that seems like something crazy to do, but I would love to go live in the house again for a month and kind of redeem myself, you know what I mean, and go back in there with some experience and maybe fight some new people from different countries. Who knows, you know? But I know I want to fight Tyler.
Season 4.
And it's coming. Y'all starting to hear more about it, so I'd like to be on back-to-back seasons. I think that'd be badass, man.
Yeah, I do. Something that hasn't happened before, unless they do it and then go coach, you know, right? And or they did that bring back series where
But
they brought
you know, I got so many people that are like calling me out on their Instagram. I had like 5 people like post me today, and it's like I don't even respond to any of that because they see that I'm popular right now because of the things that are going on, and you know, they just want to grab onto my clout train, you know. So
yeah, don't let them. Don't let them. Just move forward. Keep moving forward.
It sounds funny. I just got kicked out of a group chat filled with a bunch of fighters. And I don't know why, bro. I felt like I was just like getting like grouped up and bullied on. Like I'm not the type of person to be problematic. So, you know, I'm just defending myself. Nobody should be bringing up anybody's kids or anything like that. And it's like I'm the crazy one, right?
That's how it goes, bro. That's the life I live too. I'm right there with you, homie.
How'd it go? Nice to meet you, Rayden. Nice to meet you, brother.
Just meeting somebody.
Have a good day.
Somebody recognized him.
Oh, I think he's on his break right now, actually.
Celebrity. I was gonna ask him like, what emotions, you know, does he really feel right now? Because from what I can, you know, see or read from this situation, like the whole hate is sort of getting to him, and we all have like different levels of thick skins.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, these kind of things might actually get to me, but now
Yeah.
I'm not as old as Vern, but I feel
You
like
know
I'm
what's
in a place where
crazy,
I'm not
bro?
too young and I'm not too old. Like I really don't
What's
care.
up, homie?
I wish I had the camera on me, but like I've never been the guy to get picked first for a team. I was always picked last. You know what I mean? I was never the guy
Mm,
invited to parties. I was never the
the
captain
cool
of the
one.
team. I was never none of that, man. So it, I don't mind being singled out because you just gotta believe in yourself.
Well, you
You
got
know,
people
it
that
doesn't.
believe in you though too, Rayden.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate that. And while you're there in the moment, you have to be humble enough to know that you're living in your dreams and just take it all in, because there's times in life where things get kind of negative and we all kind of feel down on ourselves. And I live for
Exactly.
those moments, that are uplifting. Like, we got to do something crazy this weekend, Vern, and we got to just
Yeah.
live in it. You know what I mean? And just take it in. And now we're all
Yeah.
back home and the dust has settled.
Yeah. And you know what? I honestly this time I did bring. I brought the cards that I wanted to make sure I got done right. Wanted to get you a card, made sure you got McGregor a card. Didn't have an image of DeFrank yet, so I took one of him. But I didn't bring like I usually do. I packed light, let's say. But up there, and when I gave you that card, man, that's the positivity and that's the kind of love and glow that you give out. It's like in that moment. Remember that moment we had right then?
Yeah, man, of course.
Yeah, that's you.
And it's so cool to just and I'm sure we're gonna go to London eventually too, so you'll be able to feel it too, Dems. And I'll meet you there, bro. I promise. I don't know how or if
God
I'll be on a
willing.
London
I like
card,
that
but
space,
I'll be
bro.
over there, bro. But just this time being there, it was just so perfect. Like, I got to speak to so many of the business owners.
Good
I
job.
got real close with so many people. Like, the last time I didn't get to stay around the hotel, and this time I got to just be a part of everything and just
Just have fun.
yeah, and help and have fun and be myself, and just I just felt like I really, really, if I wasn't already in the family, I really am now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, I actually I always thought you were a member of the family from the moment at the bottom of the escalator.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way, but sometimes,
You get down.
you get down and you kind of get singled out, and I've never been, like I said, the cool guy, and I don't know, I feel like I'm
I
pretty
think you're pretty
kind,
cool.
so I feel like I'm kind to people, so sometimes I get a rough reaction from some of the fighters, and it's cool, man. I'm not talking about anybody's kids or saying
No.
anything too crazy. I'm just saying, hey, man, I'm 1-1, and I think I'm great. I want to run for the title, and anybody that's being unprofessional, let's be professional. Let's make
Yeah.
weight. Let's not talk about kids. Let's, you
No.
know,
No. Don't bring your kids into power slap. Period. That's just somebody drawing your kids into it on something like that. Then no. They don't belong
There's
there.
certain boundaries that are not to be, crossed, in my
right.
opinion.
And
Yes,
it's funny
family,
because, like,
Man
religion.
code.
I'm not an aggressive person, but like a lot of
No,
these
no.
guys, they're talking about, it's on site, and that they're gonna beat me up or I'm gonna get jumped, and it's like, bro, come at me, bro. You know what
Yeah,
I
because you
mean?
got this fat man that'll jump right in front of you.
Like, I got actual fight experience on like a lot of these fucks. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they come at me, they're gonna catch a fucking elbow, or they're gonna
Well,
catch a fucking straight, or they're gonna get slammed on the
MM,
ground. You know what I mean?
MMA
That's
style.
I'm not slapping on the streets, bro. And none of
No,
these guys
no.
come up to me and speak in a negative way. They're all kind as hell. Nobody's being disrespectful, because I don't be that way. You know what I mean? But when it comes to text messages and stuff, these guys want to be little fucking internet gangsters and shit. So
Yeah, I know.
keyboard heroes.
Yeah, OGs. They think they're OGs, but nah, They don't know what an OG is. They just want to say the two letters.
and some of these guys from the other seasons, they think that
It's
they're
getting
the
weird.
only people to have ever done it, and they're trying to discredit. Yeah, every season's discrediting each other,
Yes.
and like, we're new, so we're not as good, and these guys have been here for a while, so they think that they're the shit because
Yeah,
they were the newest season, and it's like, Like,
And it
bro,
changes the entire mood of the sport where it was at PS6 and PS7. You know what I'm saying, Rayden? That sort of attitude, that negative attitude down towards you guys has changed like the outlook
but
for
look
me.
at what's happening with Power Slap though. The most exciting fights are coming from the people that were in season 3. And
Yep.
I know people are gonna be excited when I fight, whether it's, you know, a prelim or if it's a before card. I know that there's gonna be fans that are there to buy tickets for Rayden.
Yes.
100%.
Well, we heard right now in this podcast.
And of
Somebody
course, talking
recognized
about
you.
you, so it should mean something.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, thank you, man. And
There,
I can't wait for that Mortal Kombat music to drop and I come down and I see everybody. You know, I was watching so hard because I visualized being there in that moment. You know what I mean? Like I can not only do I get to do this, but I get the chance to see my friends do this, and then I get to learn from their mistakes and just take it all in. So
Yeah,
I just dialed in the whole time.
you were, bro. You were. You so were. And that's what I said. I think I said at the beginning, I go, if you were to go to YouTube and actually watch Power Slap 12, you would see a lot of me and Rayden.
I don't know who that guy that was sitting next to us, and I don't mean to be like negative, but I think that was John. Was that Johnny B. Good Anderson,
Oh, the white guy?
the white guy that was like fucking drunk?
Oh yeah, dude. He just became a millionaire last week, bro. He
Really?
just became a millionaire last week, he told me. And he was all party that night,
I
homie.
was being such a dick to him because, dude, I don't fucking like drunk people, bro. Like I didn't drink at all, you know what I mean? So I'm like sitting there, and this guy's like screaming and like grabbing onto me and like
Yeah.
fucking bro, you could just tell, Vern. I know you could
Yeah, I
tell
could
I
tell
was
he was
not to be
annoying the
fucked with at
shit
that
out of you.
moment. That's why I moved to the other side of you, and I was like, Vern, get between us, because I'm gonna fucking
Yeah,
knock this guy out, bro. If he
I'm a
fucking
wall.
spills beer on me.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, and he was really hammered.
He was trying to like dap me up, and I just like straight ignored him, bro. Like I
I
don't
know,
give a
dude, you were
fuck,
laser
dude.
focused. You wouldn't get your arms off the rail. You just,
Like I'll say hi to people and shit like that, but like I don't know, when somebody's being drunk and all that shit, and they're trying to fucking
yeah.
bounce on me, and I don't know you, and and you're making yourself look sloppy. And I'm there for business, bro. Like I'm looking at who's gonna walk past me. Like me and you guys didn't see it on the TV, but me and KO Chris had a moment. Uh, he had walked past me and I was like, "Hey, so what's up? Let's do it." And then he
Yeah,
looked
I
at
was there.
me.
I was there, wasn't I?
He looked at me. He was gonna say something, and then
And
he
he
just
walked
kept
away.
walking. And I was like, "All right, like whatever, it's cool." Like I'm just trying to get a fight. But then that thing happened with Dana. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people think that you guys gotta call people out and be negative, but really if you just be real positive and you try real hard, you don't have to be the bad guy. Like I don't want to be known as the bad
You
guy.
don't want to be the heel.
It's just not. It's not who I am. It's not what I want to portray myself to be. I think anybody that meets me just knows like I'm just like a really kind person. But on the stage it's different, you know what I mean? But I don't want people to get the two mixed up.
No. And that's I think that's something we talked about earlier in this podcast before you came on, was the fact that, there's the fight people that go up on the stage and they slap each other and then they leave, and then they have a personal life. And they're different. That's not them. They're not walking around town slapping people. They're making connections and living a life, trying to get by, trying to pay bills, trying to live
And
just
like a
like a
lot
normal
of people
person.
were giving me shit like for like they think like I sat there and I asked Dana for money. No, I said, "Hey man, I fucking bet on myself. I came here with my rent money in order to get a fight. Like I have so much love for this. I couldn't miss it. And
Yeah.
I'm willing to put my living situation in danger because I'm so invested into this, you know? And if people want to be negative on it, it's because they're not in that position. Maybe they have the easier life. I know I do all this shit by myself. I live by
Work
myself. I
up.
pay my car by myself. I feed myself by myself. I don't do shit with anybody, and I don't get help,
Yes,
man.
that's right.
So
So when you do, it's such a blessing and it feels so good, and we're so grateful when those things happen. Right,
right,
Raiden?
like I thought something like that would happen. I know it sounds crazy to say because this is coming from a fighter's perspective, but great things are going to happen to me. And,
It will.
and that was just, proof. And sometimes it's just great to get that reminder that you're doing the right things. And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, because the fact that I got to have a moment like that with Dana multiple times, he's got to watch me multiple times. He's seen me.
He likes
We've
you.
had four interactions. He watched me fight Neil Thomason. He watched me fight Joshua Newsom. We hung out a little bit after 12, and then for this or for 10, and after this one, like I'm 25, bro. So yeah, he knows who I am, and
don't you think that's probably why the other fighters are having a problem with you, brother?
And you know what? Like,
that's it.
I went in. I don't know if you saw this, Vern, but after he had gave me the money, I went and sat down and randomly I just went to go sat down in like a row of seats, and like these people all came up to me and they were like, "Bro, like you deserve this." Like Fight Fan, Babyface came up to me and was like, "Babyface, he's the champion of my weight class. He's the goal. He's the guy that I need to beat. He is the final boss." And he came up to me and said,
"Best dude. He's the best dude."
He came up to me and said, like, "Hey man, like you deserve to be here. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm glad you're in my weight class. I'm glad that happened to you because you deserve it and you work hard, and I've seen it since I've been here, and I can't wait for you to get a fight." And I don't know if he was drunk when he said that or whatnot.
No.
Probably was.
No.
But
Blackburn wants competition. He wants to fight different people.
When you see other people taking training seriously, that it's not just going to be an easy just little slap. You know what I mean? Just because their numbers are higher doesn't mean that they're not going to have a good fight or something. These numbers don't matter anymore. You see these unranked guys coming in like Aaron Turner fucking doing great. You know what I mean?
Look what happened to TJ Thomas.
Babyface knows that whoever I fight, it's not going to be easy because I've been training my ass off, and they better come correct.
Yep, and you're going to keep training.
And I think whoever gets matched up with me, it's a high risk, low reward. They don't want it.
Who do you think it'd be, Rayden?
It's funny. I wasn't really going to say this, but
do it.
I was talking to Vince, and Vince was like, man, like, honestly, I don't even know if I want to fight you anymore, dude. You look fucking good, bro, honestly. And like, it's like when you're putting people on notice, like, hey, this guy looks so good, I probably don't want to match up with him. I'm hoping to get like a Waylon Frost. I'm hoping to get a Tyler Gross. I'm hoping to get a Vince Tracy. I only want people in the top 10 because this is my goal. I'm not here just to do fucking 35 fights. I'm here to get in the top 10, win a couple more matches, get that money, and go for the title. And I see myself, competing in lightweight eventually too. I get to be potentially the first person to fight in 3 different weight classes. So I have my mindset on history. I'm trying to keep my name in the record books.
Well, you can get to that lightweight, Rayden. You keep working. And that's the thing is you've been working out. People are noticing. You're not even ready to go up on. You haven't even trained for the fight. Imagine the shape you're going to be in when it's fight time. Yeah,
and I'm kind of glad that I didn't actually have to fight exactly this time because it was like a mock weight cut, you know what I mean? So right now I'm still real healthy off of that weight cut, and so I'm actually dialing in even more than what I was before. Like I went to the store and I bought chicken and steak, and I'm going on like a straight like carnivore diet kind of. I'm taking tips from everybody that I've learned from, like Luke Simons, like on how to work out better and on how to get the muscle to maintain, and I'm looking on. I'm coming in ripped, bro, in this next fight, honestly.
Get that protein. Drink that water.
Sometimes you don't want to like overthink your slap. So like I said, I just be the best athlete you can be. Practice your technique, and then just start worrying about the slap. You know what I mean? Because once you've had a couple fights, like you got to be confident in your strike, and then work on your slap. Like it's easier said than done, but consistency makes the best.
Yeah.
Like if you're not consistent, like if you're not confident in yourself, it's because you're not training consistently enough. Like you don't
Yeah.
do it enough.
I
Like you
think we
would be
saw that in the
confident if
KO
you
Chris
did it
fight.
enough.
I think we saw that in the KO Chris fight that
And
somebody had not prepared or trained
yeah,
really hard.
I mean, Chris Debo, you know,
Yeah.
he hates me right now, but I mean, I wish the best for him, honestly.
Yeah.
But you know, that's why you got to be a professional when you're home. You can't just think of yourself as, oh, I'm a season 2 slapper. Like I'm just gonna go through everything, and you know.
Yep. A lot of talk. A lot of talk happens in Power Slap.
Hello.
You know. Then we see him. Did he head out?
Yeah, it feels like we've actually had some sort of, would I say, call it a therapy session, because he's had a lot to talk about. He's
Yeah.
been able to
He had a lot
pour
to get off
his
his chest.
heart out. Yeah, it's to us, and I'm grateful we did reach out to him. We could have just talked about him
Yeah.
without reaching out, but then
You know what I'm realizing right
Yeah.
now that now that what he's gone through today, that I love you, he needed some love.
Yeah,
See, man, that's what happens for me
man,
when I build these
people go
cards
through a lot.
and that feels pretty special. I mean, I have some of the fighters, some of them sometimes call me and I just say, hey, yo, I'm broke. I ain't got no money. I can't help you with that. But if you want to talk, let me know what's up. I'm 51 years old. I'll guarantee you I've done 10 times what you think you've done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you think you've done something wrong, I've done it 10 times more worse. You know, like I said, I got a lot of wisdom, lived a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different lives, and
Yeah.
enjoyed every single one of them.
Many miles in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah. It hasn't just been one path. It's been a journey through water, through air, through ground.
Through all the elements,
Yes. Yes.
all of the elements.
Man,
Wow.
I dig you. You're a good dude.
Thank
You're a
you.
good
I
dude.
appreciate you so much.
Yeah, man, you got this good energy. You're really easy to talk to. You're interesting yourself. You know,
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me coming from you.
Well, I ain't nobody, so I mean, I just
You are somebody.
the card man. But I just you have a really good energy, and I don't talk to a lot of people, and they grade me.
Wow.
I actually, when I'm here in Nebraska, I'm a hermit. I have
Hermit
zero
crab.
family. I have zero anything. It is just me and my dog in life.
Whoa.
So when I'm here, it's just me, and I focus on the card art, the networking. I've got those couple. I got a couple that's married that are my friends that help me out with like this technology stuff, and they couldn't make it because they had to work today. So that's why we had our issues. But I'm the same way. I'm here. Nobody pays any attention to me. It's good. It's good because then
Wow.
I get to have my moments when I leave and I go to these events. And that's when I get to really, really make my real friends and find my real family. That's what's happened throughout this.
Connections.
Is I've found some real family through this journey that will always be my family, and I'll always do anything I can for them if I can. But sometimes there's only so much we can do in life.
Yeah, that
We're
is very
limited.
true.
We're limited at what we can do in order to help. And the best thing usually I have to offer is just straight wisdom.
Exactly, because a lot of times, that wisdom, that advice is a lot of times more valuable than money.
Yeah. To give a little bit of light back, explain why things are going on the way they're going on. That the whole reason I believe they're doing what they're doing to him, now that we know this, is just because of Dana White. Because he got a little extra attention.
Then people are jealous. It's just normal, it's just normal. But
it shouldn't be normal. It shouldn't be normal.
It shouldn't be normal, but that's the way human beings are, so we can't change them.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all human beings are like that. No, sir. That's not me.
And of course, not me as well, but
yeah, I know. But that's why we need. That's why people like us People like us need to have these conversations. We need to show people that there's good and positivity, and that there's more energy that's going to come out in the world if we're positive. And then all this pop culture negative, bad stuff every day being slammed in everybody's faces, people can bring some happiness into it. And that's what you're doing.
And of course, I tell people something. Why hate when you can collaborate?
I love that.
I've got no space for hate.
Yep.
Never was a hater. Never will be a hater.
No.
That is not me. And of course, I think Rayden is actually caught up, with some work stuff, and we will try to catch up with him after the port. So I'm really grateful for your time today, Vern. We've been able to accommodate Vern and Vern from, and I think we will see behind the camera scenes, and have open, honest, conversations with Rayden, and of course provide all of the support and the love that we can to him. And of course, from me, I think it's a very big thank you once again, not just to Vern, but of course everyone who has worked us today. It's been really, really a great session. This is 12:26 a.m. in London, England.
Time.
Yeah, so it means we've recorded this podcast within 2 days, right? It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey, and of course, I hope for great stuff for the future. If you guys have watched us till this time, please join the channel, subscribe, share.
I will.
Show us love. Share with your neighbors, your family, your friends, your foes, your enemies, your exes.
This is hella funny, bro.
You're getting ready to go to bed.
Oh, it's Rayden said I should go to bed.
No, I never sleep.
Okay. Of course, it's nighttime here. Rayden, do you have anything to tell the audience before we leave? Shout out to anybody.
I just got a new manager, and she's hella hot. So that's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Happy for you, homie.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, no, let's do this again. I kind of just wanted to pop in because I could, and I'm at work right now, but hopefully we can do it again and maybe we'll get some other fighters on, and including Vern, and see if we can just have like a good little 4-way chat.
Actually, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, shit, don't be surprised to see me on 13, brothers.
Nope. I won't be. You deserve it. I love you, man.
Love you too, bro. I love you, King Dems.
And of course, I love you, bro. Stay strong.
Yes,
God bless you.
Peace out,
okay, and of course, from all of us here, it is goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks, lovers. Everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, King Dems.
Thank you, Vern White.
Nebraska.